Hey everyone, before we dive into this very exciting event that we are hosting here in the basement, I want to give a huge shout out to our patrons, Brian and Teos. Thank you so much for your support. It's helped improve the quality of our videos, such as, again, getting this nice gimbal here for smooth pan over shots. It allows us to get close into the action while providing a smooth pan of the battlefield. If you're interested in becoming a patron, unlocking some cool benefits, getting involved with the channel, and getting to know myself and the players a bit more, you can find that link in the video description below. And I do apologize lately, just generally to everyone on the lack of videos. It's just been a busy time. Again, painting the Harridan has taken up a fair amount of my time, as well as just kind of planning out this event as well. So hope you enjoy this. I have lots more content planned, including an Octarius review coming, and I'm also going to show off the Harridan, as I just mentioned. Hey everyone, welcome to this video. We are hosting our first in-house tournament, so very excited about that. It's the first time getting our community together for kind of a big game day. There's 4 armies competing, so just a little small event. It is the Tyranids, Iron Hands, Salamanders, and Teos. So all factions and players you've seen on the channel previously. So it's a way for us to grow the community and get a few games in one day here. So in this introduction portion, I'm just going to show off the tables, talk about how the format of the event is going to run, then talk about my list that I brought. I will be filming my matches, and they'll be a little bit faster pace. Again, just trying to fit in 3 battles in one day, so not trying to take up too much time filming. Again, our little constraint for time, trying to fit 3 games in as well. So let's take a look at the list I brought, and I'll talk about the overall format for the event. So over here we have 2,000 points of Tyranids. It is with the new Octarius rules, so very excited to try out a new build. As much as I love my double Dimas, very excited to switch that up and try out something new. So let's take a look at it. It's 1 battalion of Leviathan. So we have the Swarmlord, who has Catalyst and Paroxysm. We have the Broodlord, who is my Warlord. He has the Warlord trait that lets me try and generate CP when my opponent spends it. I spent an extra CP to give him 2 Warlord traits. He has the redeploy one and the full rerolls for an infantry beast or swarm unit. I will get the names down for these eventually. Again, just got the book myself, and I need to get a little bit more familiar with the names. So we have 6 Hive Guard. We have the Maleceptor, who is specially painted up, bringing the Synaptic link for him. Oh, that's one other thing. I did pay the 15 points for the Synaptic link here for the Broodlord as well. So Maleceptor's in. His Synaptic link is very juicy, especially with the Hive Guard. So very excited to bring him, use him as my backfield babysitter, kind of taking the place of the Neurothrope, but also adding some nice buffs for the Hive Guard. We have a Lictor, and then in the troop slot we have 18 Genestealers with 4 Acid Maws there. So very excited to use them again and see how they fit into the playstyle of this list. 2 bare bones units of warriors, just the Scything Talons on these guys, and both of them had the Synaptic link as well. So I know I have 4 Synaptic links in this list. I know I can only use 3. However, just kind of add some flexibility there as well. And again, first time using it. Then we have 10 Termagants, and then we have the Harridan. I've teased this a little bit. Very excited to use this. He's not fully done yet. He's battle ready, but just putting the finishing touches on him later this week, but really want to get him onto the battlefield and test him out. So very, very excited with this. It's one of my favorite models ever made for the Tyranid. So super awesome, super cool. I'll do a better video featuring him and also how I magnetized him at a later time. He has Dermic Symbiosis, so spent a CP for that. So I'm starting at 9 CP collectively, and that is my 2,000 point list. So now let's take a look at the tables and the format. So it is a 3-round event. We'll be randomly determining who's playing who once everyone arrives. And then the winner from round 1, they'll move on. The individuals who lose the first round will play against one another, so it'll be a loser's bracket there. And then into round 2, the winner of the second game between the 2 winners moves on to the top position for the 3rd round. And then the winner of the loser bracket moves on to face that player. Ideally, everyone plays everyone in a perfect world, but it can work out again that a couple lists may face one another twice. But we'll see how it plays out once we get going. So this is one of the tables we'll look at. There's 2 tables altogether. We'll check that one out in a second. So looking at this table here, pretty standard terrain that you've seen in our reports, but for anyone who is new just watching in this video, I'll cover everything in a little bit more detail. So all the runes obscuring, obviously, benefiting all the other things, breachable, scalable, and providing light cover. This piece here is going to count as just dense cover. Aside from that true line of sight blocking, the trees can just pop out, so they're there just to represent that fact. And that's pretty much it. Moving on to the other table, we'll take a look at it. It's a nice cityscape. So pretty much just obscuring terrain around, again, just runes, everything. So just runes along this side. Big obscuring piece there. We're counting it just as a full obscuring block with the drop pod representing the top part of that. As well as this, it's like 4.7-ish inches or something like that. So we're just going to count the octagon piece there as obscuring. Then we have runes everywhere else here. And then this mechanicum piece is blocked out by these barrels. So just tucked in there so you can't shoot under it. And those are the two tables. So last thing to mention is the missions as well. Round one, we'll see us playing Battle Lines, I think it's called. Then Surround and Destroy, and then we were playing Retrieval Mission. And those are the three missions we'll be playing. Again, it'll be a little quicker on the battle reports once we get into it. This video will include round one, and then jumping into the follow-up video that'll come out a little later. It'll be rounds 2 and 3 to end off the tournament. So again, very excited. We're planning on doing some future events, but I'll talk about that later at the end of the next video with rounds 2 and 3. So thank you so much, everyone, for this. If you're curious about the list, they will be included in the video description below. Again, I'm going to not introduce the list fully or not have my opponents introduce their lists, but I will include all the details there and show you and capture before we find out who I'm playing in round. These are the two tables we're playing on. So this is table one, showing off everything that we have here. We have runes, just obscuring, that's pretty much it. Pretty standard table in that regard. We're going to be playing 3 rounds in this tournament. And over on the other side, table number 2 is an industrial cityscape. So on here, pretty much just obscuring terrain for the most part. And over here, this will be obscuring as well. That's pretty much it. So that's a quick look at the tables and a very, again, just fast overview of what we're playing on. In terms of missions, we are playing Battle Line, Surround and Destroy, and Retrieval Mission. All right, everyone, so round one sees the Tyranids facing off against the Iron Hands in this first game of our little tournament. So very quickly, again, these the start of the battle reports, these rounds are going to be a little condensed. Again, trying to fit in 3 games into one day to simulate a tournament. So I'm going to try and move as quickly as I can here, keep things efficient. So on my side, Iron Hands got to choose their deployment zone there. We're playing Battle Lines. I chose Engage, Assassinate, and Rod. The Iron Hands going with Oaths, Stranglehold, and Psychic Interrogation. So on my deployment end, we have the Hive Guard, Warriors, Broodlord, Termagants, Maleceptor, Tyranids on the table with the Genestealers, Swarmy right there, Warriors. I have 9 CP to the Iron Hands 10 CP on this side. We've got some heavy intercessors. There's 4 objectives in total as well on the table here. We have some eliminators ready to eliminate. 2 dreads just hanging right there. With the Tech Priest right in there. More eliminators, more heavy intercessors across the way over here. 2 Invictor War Suits, the dreaded tank that is one-shotted a Tyranid monster every game we have played so far. So we're going to see if this pattern continues. And that is pretty much it. We're going to roll off, find out who gets to go first. I do have my redeploy as well, which can happen here once we find out who's going where. So we're going to roll off, find out who goes first in round 1 of the tournament. The tower facing the Salamanders on the other table. So let's take a look. It is a 5 for the Tyranids to a 3. Tyranids will take first turn. I don't think I'm going to redeploy anything, but we'll see. We'll come back after movement with the Tyranids and see what it looks like. Movement is done for the Tyranids, so very quickly again, it's going to be a little faster pace than normal bat reps. Maleceptor moved back to keep the Synaptic chain going along the back edge here with these guys. Warriors move forward. These Warriors on this end had rotted as well. These Gaunts moved up in advance. Got 5+ in all my advanced rolls, so very clutch there. Grabbing that objective. Hive Guard have been buffed with the full rerolls, +1 to hit. The Herodin has gotten the +1 to hit. He is hovering. I'm going right for it and just full send. He's going up to charge the tank. He has 7 on the dice to charge there. Genestealers redeployed with Swarmlord on this side. So they came forward here, getting a 5 for their advance. Swarmlord just advanced up this way. Broodlord overdrive just to get him positioned in the center of the table and not in no matter where he went, he would have got sniped by the Eliminators. But that's it. So moving into Psychic and Shooting, we'll come right back. Shooting phase done. The Harridan proving his worth here, taking out the tank in one volley, doing a collective 44 damage. Some amazing rolling on my part. So good start for him. However, he is hovering and his charge target is gone, as well as some of these guys dying. So Hive Guard fired initially at the Invictor, took him out. Genestealers double moved. These guys got another volley from the double tap from the Hive Guard transhuman to keep themselves alive, or else they probably would have been zapped out, leaving the Genestealers free to charge a character. However, they're blocking it now, so we'll see what happens. Genestealers about to charge. My Harridan will probably make a charge as well, and we'll come back after that and see what the end of the turn looks. All right, that ends Tyranid's turn. So failed to charge with my Harridan. I tried to get in there at the Warlord. Needed a 8 on the dice, rolled to 7 twice, re-rolling it. However, the Genestealers made it and wiped out these two dudes. Moved in to the Warlord just to keep him tied up. He can fall back if he wishes, but that way I got him kind of gunked up. I was going to go in with this guy, but I was like, that should be okay. So just kind of hanging out there, gunking it up, and I lost 1 in return, and that is it for the turn. Scoring 2 for Rod, Rod is done, so that is this one. 2 for Engage is what I'm saying, and I'm still working on Assassinate, and here come the Dreadnoughts. So we'll come back after turn 1 for the Iron Hands. All right, so Iron Hands have moved here on turn 1. The consensus is I think the Harridan has to go. Everything is teeing up to just dump at him. I probably should have kept him in the air again, going a little aggressive. First game with him, just really excited, wanted him to get in there. We'll see. Still tons of moon. He has 32 left. And then over this way, these guys just moving forward. But that's it for movement. Coming back after Psychic and Shooting is done. Literally everything except for that Invictor shot into the Harridan. He is down to 8 wounds. Really should have kept him in the air, being that he's going to potentially get charged by this Dreadnought, but it's okay. First game with him, just throwing him forward, having some fun, and I mean, it was cool doing 44 damage in 1 shot, but then hopefully he doesn't fall here, because I don't know if I've killed equivalent points, but it's going to be pretty close either way. Then the charge is going to go down on my little Steelers over here, so we're just going to, I know we're going through quickly, but we're going to capture this charge on camera, just because it's a big deal. If the Harridan lives, it's not good, so no pressure. You spending that CP? Oh, don't do it. Just save the CP. You need it. You have 8. So down to 7 CP for the Iron Hands. That should do it. Pretty safe there. So Dreadnought just made it in. But all I have to do is just survive. That's it. So confirmed. Yeah. So you did need a 8 on the dice there. So just barely made it in, getting himself forward.
I'm going to charge the other one.
Then, the other one too. All right, we'll capture that as well. No rerolls, and then we'll come back at the end of the turn. 8, probably not going to make that one, but we'll check anyway. So then we'll come back after the end of the turn. His wee little base. So he is just out there. So yeah, but made 1 in. That's all I need. Then over here, Char's going to go down to the Genestealers. We'll come back after that. Ends the turn. The Harridan lives with 8 wounds. So 2 wounds came through from him, and I rolled 2 5-ups with Thermic Symbiosis. Hit back. Your Dreadnought is at 4 wounds, is it? Yeah, 4 wounds left on him, and no one charged in over on this side, just to keep it insane. Well, actually, the Invictor went to charge, but rolled a double 1, unfortunately, and failed that. And then the Librarian stayed back because he didn't want to get a free kill going through. So that's it for the turn. Coming into Tyranids, turn 2, just 1 point for O's for not falling back. No monsters killed yet, but definitely a weak Harridan limping along. So we'll come back after turn 2 Tyranids. His movement done for the Tyranid, scoring 5 for primaries, just having 1 objective in the back. Hive Guard had to move. The Synaptic Link, they got buffed from the Maleceptor and the Warriors on this side before they left the chain, so they are +1 to hit. The Harridan's also +1 to hit from the Synaptic chain that webbed up through this way. Then the Harridan left combat, flew over here. He is kind of like, he can fit right back here, but just for model's sake, not knocking anyone over, just from bumping stuff, he's just forward a little bit because his wings there. What am I doing? Oh, the Lictor popped up right at this section over here. Swarmlord and the Genestealers have charges set up to kind of go down this way. Broodlord poked his head around to hopefully smite and Psychic Scream him off. And that's it for movement. We'll come back after Psychic and Shooting. Oh, 6 more. That ends the shooting. So ended up killing off this Dreadnought with the combined might of the Hive Guard and the Harridan. The Hive Guard split fired, taking him out with 1 wound, injuring him a bit. I double tap, put everything into him. He is 4 wounds. Didn't manage to do it. So very resilient Dreadnought there. So he's down to 2 wounds. I was going to take out the Invictor. Probably should have done that, but that's okay. Now the Swarmlord and Genestealers are going to go fight the Librarian and him. So we'll come back after that. All right, so that ends the turn for the Tyranids. So Swarmlord didn't take out the Invictor. Rolled really poorly. He actually rolled quite a lot of Feel No Pains and Invols, but he's down to 9. The Genestealers wiped out the Librarian, staying away from that fella, and then that is it. So the no damage done back to Swarmlord, scoring 3 for engage. Got 2 quarters done for Rod. Need 1 more to go, or sorry, 2 more to go, and killed 2 characters this turn. So 2 down, 2 characters left to go. We'll come back after Iron Hands turn 2. All right, so Iron Hands have moved. So back on this end, these Eliminators have moved up. Heavy Intercessors down here have moved forward. The Tech Marine moved forward to repair this guy. And the Invictor staying in combat, didn't want to lose any more points for Oath. And the Iron Father, I think he just came around this way as well. So that's movement done. We'll come back. 5 points scored for primary as well. So we'll come back after. All right, so that ends the shooting. So the Harridan lives with 3 wounds with the combined might of both the Eliminator shooting. These guys fired in, almost took out this warrior squad here, had them down to 1, killed 1 and 1 with 1 wound, and they're still holding the objective. Lost a Hive Guard after the Dreadnought shot there. Some good rolling on my part, and some fortunate rolling for the Dreadnought. Dreadnought's also with its 5 wounds, I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. Fired the Icarus pod at the Harridan, but no wounds there. And that's it. So we got some charges going to go down. We'll come back and see what it looks like. So for charges, what is it? Is he an Iron Father? Is that, I'm gonna learn his name. Iron Father Farios. He went in, killed off a Genestealer, I think it was. The Dreadnought here failed to charge with the reroll, and these guys had a long bomb charge of 12 inches at the Steelers there. Or sorry, Steelers Warriors, and that ends the turn. So not getting a point for not failing morale. No monsters taken down yet. Some still limping on, but points available there to be racked up. So we'll come back after turn 3 for the Tyranids. So movement's done. The Harridan's still limping on with 3. Leaped over onto this side. So he was just right there, just again with the wings. We didn't want to knock him over. So he jumped over. He's hovering on the ground, potentially doing some charges. The Broodlord moved forward. Lictor Stingray is in the back corner. Scored 15 for primary. These guys moved back. They are in range of the objective right on the corner. Back this way, the Maleceptor moved and advanced forward, trying to get him back in the game to do some smites. Not in range yet, but slugging forward. Hive Guard stays still with the Broodlord being there. Got the rerolls, +1 to hit from them, and the bonus from this guy. The other warriors are too far to Synaptic anything, so that's fine. And then the Broodlord's ability with the cover, he has given it to the Hive Guard to help them keep going. I have 1 CP, and that is it for the start of the turn. We'll come back after Psychic and Shooting. So shooting in Psychic is done. Taking out the Dreadnought with the Harridan firing, not enough damage done with Psychic powers. Hive Guard fired, killed the Intercessors on the bottom of this ruins here, clearing off the objective. I only had 1 CP. I tried to bait him to use Transhuman so I could try and generate an extra CP to double tap, but he did not fall for that. And that's it. So Harridan is likely going to charge here with the Broodlord at this character who's worth points, and then over this way, the Invictor Warsuit lost a wound from the... sorry, he didn't lose a wound because he rolled 6. Excuse me, and that is it. We'll come back after a little bit of fighting and see how the table looks. So that's turn done. The Harridan charged in, finished off that Tech Marine. Over this way, the Invictor drops down to 1 wound with Swarmlord dropping down to 6. And the Farios fella dropping down to 2. And that ends the turn, so Tyranids getting 3 again for engage. I didn't get my 3rd rod done. I just moved these warriors up instead just to kind of hold that objective as an insurance policy just in case. Want to get my primaries all racked up. And that is it. Moving into Iron Hands turn 3. Been done for the Iron Hands. The Heavy Intercessors moving forward, stealing this objective away from me. Everyone else is just staying still, ready to get some shots down, take out that Harridan, get some points on the board, and then over here, not wanting to lose any for Oaths as well. So coming back after shooting. So that's the end for shooting. So the Harridan was taken out by the Heavy Intercessors right here, firing in, so they took him out. Broodlord was dropped down to 2 wounds from the combined might of these eliminators, and that's it for shooting. So we got a combat to go down right in here, and that'll end the turn. So that ends the turn. Over this way, the Swarmlord finished off the Invictor, and then the Ironfather killed off a Genestealer, and then Genestealer swung back and actually did enough damage to take him out, so we're very decent rolling there. That ends the turn. No falling back, so oaths gained, as well as slaying the Heritance for points there as well. So we'll come back after Tyranid's turn 4. That ends the game, folks. We just quickly played at round 4. We're just going to call it here. There's no possible points that can be scored on the Iron Hand side for the end of it, as it was just these 3 left alive and the 1 intercessor there. But on a whole, nothing could change. He could have ran to the middle there and grabbed some oath points, so we did count those. But that's it. Final score is 93 to 30 at the start of the round. We were just chatting about it. That we both agreed that the big difference maker is the redeploy with the Tyranids. So big factor there, just especially when he was trying to put stuff down, because he's unsure if he puts something there, I can dodge around. Harridan also performed very well, not being able to kill that early made all the difference for me. Had the Harridan have fallen, I think it would have been a flip scenario, as my only really damage output shooting is the Harridan and the Hive Guard. So outside of them, it is, if you take them out, not as much hitting on this list, but still can rack up points with all the bodies. So good start to it. So we're going to moving into round 2, depending on the winner of the Salamanders and Tau match that is going down on the other table right now.